My topic is Bhakti reflected in Pundarikapurisastava of Ramaswami Sastri. The word Bhakti has a wide range of meanings associated with it. Bhakti can be defined as the attachment, participation, homage, faith, love, devotion, worship and purity. Bhakti engenders devotion rather than deep love to a personal God. The Travancore kings had shown a special interest in the matter of devotion. They have received the name of Padmanabhadasa in succession. Therefore, the pious poets who lived in the period received scholarly encouragement under the kingship. Ilattur Ramaswami Sastri was one of such scholarly poets among them. He was nurtured during the reign of kings of Ayilam Tirunal and Vishakham Tirunal, and his life under the patronage of Travancore kings. Gomatyamba, the main idol of Shankaranayanar temple near Ilattur, is the favorite deity of the Shastri. He even adopted the name Gomadi Dasa out of his devotion to goddess Gomadi. In his Suruparagavadi Kavyas, the poem begins with praising Gomatyamba. Pundarikapurisastava is one of the important works of Ramaswami Sastri. The praise of the Vaikam Lord, Vaikyatappan, is the focus of the work. In 12 verses, the work addressed the greatness of Vaikyatappan. Praising the god is the purpose of work, so this belongs to eulogy literature. Ramaswami Sastri, himself a devotee, and his devotion towards his Lord can be seen visibly in the form of Bhakti. In every verse, he bore down the god of Vaikam, mentioning and praising the different qualities of the worship ideal. As Ramaswami was not one to seek fame, none of his works were published during his lifetime. Many of his works were lost and rest were published posthumously. Pundarikapurisastava is one such book published in Madras by R. Harihara Subramani. His devotion is evident in every line of this work. The current paper intends to discuss the devotion of Ramaswami Sastri as reflected in the work of Pundarikapurisastava. Ilattur Ramaswami Sastri as a devotional poet. Ilattur Ramaswami Sastri was born on the 3rd day of November 1823 in West Agrahara in Ilattur of Chengota Taluk. His father was Shankaranarayana Sastri. After learning poetic plays in his childhood, he went to Pandala for his higher education. The land of Ilattur was under the rule of Pandalam royal family. The Shastri learned grammar from the Kerala Varma Tamburan at Niralikkod Palace. Then he visited holy temples like Mugambika, Kashi and Kumbhakonam. He has studied Vedanta and Mantra. In 1849, he became the head scholar of the Uttaram Tirunal at Thiruvananthapuram. He developed excellence by associating with scholars who had mastered all the sciences. Grammar and literature were more interesting to him. Gomatyamba, Athva Parvati Devi, in his temple near Ilattur village was his favorite goddess. The seal Gomadi Dasa can be found in the works of Ramaswami. He had a good fortune to win the friendship of kings Uttaram Tirunal, Ayilam Tirunal, Vishakham Tirunal and Srimulam Tirunal. It was also the duty of Ramaswamy to prepare answers to the Sanskrit papers that were coming to Ayilam and Vishakham Tirunal. Ayilam Tirunal installed Ramaswamy as Pandit Sarvabhauma of his royal court, worship Gomatyamba and teach the Shastras to the disciplines are his duties. Arguing with scholars and creating texts were the duties of the scribes. Ramaswamy was the master of Kerala Varma. As a poet, both of them lived in the similar eras. Ramaswamy died on the 15th August 1987. Ramaswamy's works. The works of Shastri in Sanskrit can be divided into 4 categories, namely Kavyas, Shastras, Stotras and commentaries. Here I am mentioning his Kavyas and Shastras and Stotras. Kavyas, Anyapadesha Saptadi, Ambarisha Charidam, Kashi Yatranu Varnanam, Kritivilasa Chambu, Gandhara Charidam, Gauna Samagamam, Tulabhara Prabandam, Parvati Parinayam, Surupa Ragavam, Kaivalya Valli Parinayam, that was a drama. Then Stotras, Ashwatha Gananada Shatakam, Adi Shatakam, Kalinasha Stotram, Tribura Sundari Keshapada Durgashta Prasha Satakam, Devi Varnana Muktavali, Devi Ashtaprasha Satakam, Dharma Sambardhini Stotram, Pundarikapurisastava, Madhusudana Ashtakam, Vishwashtaprasa Satakam, Shivashtaprasa Satakam, Sri Kanteshwara Stotra Chindramani, Sri Krishna Dhandagam, Sri Ramashraya Stotram, Sri Lalita Prada Smarana Stotram, Hanivadashtakam Idyat. Stotras were composed in deities of almost all the temples visited by Shastri. About 60 such texts have been found. Some of the Devi Stotras composed by Shastri have the power and greatness of mantras as in Saundarya Lahari. These works have been printed in Malayalam script. The work Pundarikapurisastava. As mentioned earlier, Ramaswami composed the stotras of deities in connection with the temple visit. Pundarikapurisastava is such a work written after visiting the Vaikam temple. The deity worshipped in the work is Shiva. Pundarikapurisha here means Shiva. The stotra is written in praise and description of Lord Shiva. The work is written in salutation form with many epithets about the depicted deity in 12 verses. Vadakangur records that there are 11 verses in this work, but the printed Stotra Kusumanjali, in the Stotra Kusumanjali, 12 slokas are available. The poems are beautiful because of the 2 syllable rhyme. Meaning of word Pundarikapurisastava. Pundari Anya Pushpanam Garvam Churni Karodi Idi Pundarikam Pundamarde Ityasma Dhadoho Farfarigadayascha Unadi Sutrena Egan Prate Pundarika Sabdo Nishpannaha. Pundarikavad Varno Asti Asiedi Ach Prate Nishpanoyam Shabdaha. Yakraha Pundarika Pureshaha Ityasya Yakralayeshaha Ityevam Ityabaram Nama. Bhakti reflected in Pundarikapurisastava. Although the first sloka begins with a prayer, the second sloka has a precise arrangement of words demonstrate the power of deity. The author strongly believes that he will be saved by the God through his devotion to his God. Ramaswami lived during the period of Travancore Kings Island Tirunal and Vishagan Tirunal. He wrote hymns praising the deities of almost all the temples he visited at that time. Not all of them were published during his lifetime, but about 60 of them were published later. Among these works, Pundarikapurisastava is a work written in praise of Vaikatappan. His devotion to Lord Shiva is clearly seen in the 12 sloka work. He wanted to be known as a devotee more than a royal member. He was not willing to do anything that would disturb his devotion, be it for fame or status. Pundarikapurisastava is a perfect example of showing his devotional respects. The author himself feels safe under the protection of worship idol. Those verses narrate the power of deity is the confidence of the author in devotion. This devotion may involve confidence of the power of God. This paper discusses about the Bhakti phase of the author.
Pundarikapurisastavathil Bhakti பற்றி உரையாற்றிய ஏபி சூர்யா அவர்களுக்கு நன்றி தெரிவித்து பகவானும் பக்தனுக்கும் உள்ள நவவித சம்பந்தங்களை பவர் பாயிண்ட் பிரசன்டேஷனை பிரசன்ட் பண்ண வருகிறார் KN பாரத்.